reporting the news that's important to you.
13 strong, the leaders, always strong.
13 minutes, 13 ABC.
You're watching Unlocked, the 13 ABC Vault. Here's Lee Conklin.
Well, every year, summer wound down, we here at 13 Action News made it our mission to help families get ready for the new school year. It was a special presentation called The ABCs of Back to School. And this year, 2026, it's amazing to see just how much has changed in our schools, our community, and yes, even the fashion kids were wearing. Tonight, we're opening the vault on one of those yearly specials. Taking a look back tonight.
Welcome to a 13 Action News Education Plus special presentation, The ABCs of Back to School. Here's Diane Larson and Lee Conklin.
Welcome to this 13 Action News special presentation, The ABCs of Back to School. Good evening, everyone. I'm Diane Larson.
And I'm Lee Conklin. Well, Diane, where's the summer gone? I tell you, the new school year is here already, and we're here tonight to help you and your kids get ready for the new year.
Now, as parents, we understand the concerns that you and your kids may have at the start of the new school year.
Over the next 30 minutes, we'll provide you with everything you need to know to get you ready for school. And we're going to take a look at the larger issues, too, like the big TPS 10-year building plan.
We're also going to tell you about alternative schools. We're going to show you the hottest fashions for the new school year, and we'll let you know how to tell if your child is being bullied.
But first, 13 Action News anchor Gordon Boyd kicks things off with a look at what's ahead for Toledo Public Schools.
We basically said to the kids tonight that we don't care.
It's not the message. It's how TPS does business and the attitude they have toward our children.
Whatever message voters have sent, both sides know their signs won't be down for long.
We'll be back in November and try and convince people that the need is there.
Meantime, Toledo schools are drawing up a $16 million hit list in case the levy fails again.
Employees who are fairly new to the district are very vulnerable.
Budget cuts already are likely to cost dozens of Toledo teachers their jobs. How many more? Their union president can't even guess.
The board must look at all programs and not concentrate, as they did with the current cuts, on personnel position cuts almost exclusively.
Everything is on the table.
Toledo School District has a $5 million rainy day fund, but come January, the superintendent says, teachers, bus routes, junior high and high school sports, even whole school buildings could be out.
We'll challenge them on the cuts and make sure that if they propose those kind of things, that they really can justify them.
The Urban Coalition and the African American Parents Association say they'd turn around and vote for the levy, provided board members and administrators talk to them about scrapping the internship program for first-year teachers, stop suspending nonviolent students, and rework the massive building program to remodel rather than replace more schools.
This administration holds more community forums, more one-on-one dialogues than anybody.
For the ABCs of Back to School, Gordon Boyd, 13 Action News.
So the hit list gives Toledo Public Schools a heavy hammer to use on voters this fall. The problem is, though, if it fails, another property tax comes up for renewal next year. That means any cuts would be tough to undo.
One of the major issues facing Toledo Public Schools, of course, is that big 10-year building plan. Historic Waite High School is one of the few schools slated for renovation rather than demolition. Needless to say, redoing or rebuilding 60 schools is a major undertaking. There is so much to be done. Most of Toledo's elementary, junior high, and high schools are slated to get the wrecking ball over the next decade, to be replaced with brand new technology-smart schools. But to understand where the district wants to go, we've got to go back a while. It was May 28th of 2002 when the TPS board officially gave the go-ahead to the huge master building plan. Price tag over $800 million. Most of that money was coming from the National Tobacco Settlement. Toledo voters would have to sign off on the balance and swallow the idea that some schools near and dear to their hearts, like Libby, would be replaced. It proved to be a very tough sell, but in the general election last November, voters did say yes, barely.
We realize we're going to have to do some listening because we want to move this project forward in a way that makes everybody happy.
Now the building plan moves forward. Bowser and Rogers High Schools are supposed to be among the first to be replaced. But less than a month ago, appearing on Carty and Company, TPS Superintendent Dr. Eugene Sanders said citizen input can still carry a lot of weight.
We want to do what people who live in that community want. And what's exciting about this is that people are saying in some communities, we want new buildings because our kids and grandkids deserve it. Others are saying, look, we want renovation, and this is what we want, and we don't want anything different.
Is your answer to the question, yes, you are considering renovating more buildings than the 7 originally advertised?
What the board's position is that we are communicating with citizens who live in that community. We are having a series of forums and a conversation
and
with
if
people.
they want renovation rather than new construction, the board will consider it.
If there is a voice for renovation in those neighborhoods and communities, the board has indicated
yes. That being said, most schools will be replaced. Just 7 are targeted for renovation. Among those, Harvard Elementary and Waite and Scott High Schools. And for a complete list of the Toledo Public Schools building plan, just go to our website, 13abc.com.
When you think back to your school days, you probably remember the class clown or the prom queen, but what about the school bully? Probably not such a great memory. Times may have changed, but bullies haven't. They're still in every school, and kids say they're meaner than ever. 13 Action News reporter Rebecca Rainier shows us ways to help our kids deal with today's bullies.
Bullies. Most kids have encountered one or two. What do you think a bully is?
Someone that always picks on you.
It was tough.
Yeah? How come?
Well, because they always pick on you.
You'd be surprised at what kids say to each other. Gone are the days where kids say, you throw like a girl.
You throw like a girl.
Which, of course, could be a compliment. Today, kids say things that are racist.
Yeah, and sexist stuff.
And they say stuff like, you're fat, you're stupid, and you're ugly and things.
You're stupid or you're short or something.
These are the kinds of things kids are dealing with today. So what do you do if your kid's getting picked on? According to the experts at familyeducation.com, encourage your kids to tell you, a teacher or another adult, when they're having a problem. It's important for them to let someone know early before the situation escalates. Explain the difference between tattling and telling. Tattling is when you report something just to get someone in trouble. Telling is when you report that you or someone else is in danger. Insist on the buddy system to and from school and in the neighborhood. Children give each other support, and a child who has friends is less of a target. Consider enrolling your child in a self-defense course, and let your school know your safety worries. Suggest closer supervision in hallways, bathrooms, lunchrooms, under stairways, and on the playground. The kids themselves have this advice.
I guess you just go to the principal and he deals with it.
I kind of ignored it, and then after it got a little, I told the bully to stop.
And keeping this in mind helps. Why do you think they do that?
Because they feel bad about themselves.
Rebecca Rainier, 13 Action News.
More information about how to handle bullies can be found on our website, 13abc.com. And once you're there, click on the link to Family Education. There's also some information about how to spot the signs that your child may be the target of a bully.
You know, kids who spend at least some time online do appear to do better in school. Michigan State University studied 90 families over 3 years. It researched the effects of home computer use on low-income families. Early findings show that kids introduced to the internet at home improved their grades and did perform better on standardized reading tests. Initial findings also show that using the internet didn't reduce social contacts or communication with family or friends. The state of Michigan could soon have the largest school technology program in the entire country. Governor Granholm wants to give all 6th graders wireless laptops. The state just increased technology spending by more than $16 million. There are some critics, though. They feel that some of that money could have gone someplace else, like to adult education.
Well, with kids getting ready to go back to school, you know what that means? That means the buses will soon be getting ready to go back on the roads. Officials at Toledo Public Schools say hundreds of drivers a year try to pass stopped school buses, but that's against the law. Here's a quick refresher. If you're on a 2- or 3-lane road, drivers in all directions must stop. But on a 4-lane road, only drivers going in the same direction as the bus must stop. Kids should know about the danger zone area around the school bus. These are the areas where the driver can't see a child. Children should always stay 10 feet away from the bus and never go behind it.
Certainly more and more kids these days are going off to college, but the higher cost of that college education is forcing kids and their parents to get a little bit more creative to cover the cost. 13 Action News reporter Tim Gerber takes a look tonight at your college's financial aid office and how it may be able to help.
This summer, every public university in the state of Ohio raised tuition. The reason, a drop in state funding. Here at the University of Toledo, students will be paying an extra 10% for a semester of classes this fall, making financial aid a very real possibility for many students on campus.
I totally rely on financial aid. Without them, I can't go to school.
Stephen Boyd is one of the millions of college students who will receive financial aid to help pay for his education. He's looked at other options like borrowing money from a bank, but prefers to use the resources offered at UT.
But I'd rather deal with the school so I don't have any outside influences. You know, they pretty much work with you here as far as financing.
It's a long process. It's really frustrating, especially since this is my first time doing it.
First-time borrower Kristen McLash used to rely on her parents for help.
But not anymore, so that's another reason why I'm relying on this. Because I can do it on my own, you know.
Financial aid, this is Lisa.
Lisa Haschelswert is the Associate Director of Financial Aid at UT.
For many students and parents, borrowing is the only way to meet those expenses.
Due to the hikes in tuition, she says more students are taking out more loans.
We're seeing more people apply. Maybe people who thought they didn't need financial aid might decide now they need a little bit of assistance.
And everyone, no matter what their financial situation, is eligible for some type of aid. It's up to you to fill out this free application to find out just how much you can get. But don't rule out alternative loans either. Most banks have money available for students.
They allow students to repay once they're out, but the interest is building up the whole time they're in school, so that's not a bad thing. They just need to understand that.
Experts suggest keeping these tips in mind before you borrow money. Look at all of the options. There could be scholarships that help offset your costs. Don't borrow more than you need. It could come back to haunt you. Even if your kids aren't ready for college, it's never too late to start saving for school. Finally, expect to pay back everything you borrow. Kristen McLash isn't worried about that yet.
So, you know, once you get out of school and get those sign-on bonuses, it all evens out and it's worth it.
And paying for that college education isn't likely to get any easier anytime soon. UT and other state colleges and universities are predicting an even bigger drop in state funding for the year 2005. If you need more information on financial aid assistance, just go to our website, 13abc.com, and right there you'll find a link to the U.S. Department of Education's website.
Well, the weather looks great right now, but we all know it can turn bad. And when that happens, turn to 13 Action News. You can count on us to bring you the latest weather situation, plus up to the second school closings and delays. Schools not currently on our closing list can be added by calling our main newsroom line during regular business hours.
Separating boys and girls could equal better learning. At least that's what two schools hope will happen this fall.
And the styles have changed, but the classic question remains, what to wear? We went shopping to find out what's hot and what's not.
This year, some area schools are going to stray from the norm just a bit. Two public schools are going all male and all female, while the private school plans a rather unique approach to learning. 13 Action News reporter Tony Geftis tells you what's in store.
What does it take to launch a school with new teaching methods?
This is Ed Howard from Heartlight School.
Word of mouth.
It's just by pursuing what someone really loves.
The co-director of Heartlight School explained its philosophy to Denny Schaefer on KISS FM. In a nutshell, he says learning should be fun.
So this is our fairy kingdom. Kids really like to read in here.
This private school touts itself as a model of natural learning.
It's more like a house.
Ellie Howard says Heartlight sprung from homeschooling methods. Here, children pursue their own interests, then learn other subjects by applying them to those interests.
Because if a child's really interested in their project, they might spend all day on their project.
Administrators with Toledo Public Schools also had some explaining to do earlier this summer. That's when they announced the formation of two single-gender elementary schools. Lincoln will be the first all-boys public school of its kind in the state. Stewart will be the only all-girls public elementary in Ohio. The idea here is to offer students fewer distractions, an idea that was well received. Kids will wear uniforms, classes will be kept to a maximum of 22 students, and moms and dads have to stay involved. Heartlight also requires a commitment from parents.
Sometimes a kid might not think that they have a strength, and a parent will see that and can bring that to the table.
Both new concepts will be put to the test in the next few weeks. In Central Toledo, Tony Geftis, 13 Action News.
This year, Heartlight has classes for students up to 4th grade. Directors say they plan to add a grade each year. As for those same-sex schools, TPS says if they work this year, look for more to open near you.
One other option for students this fall is a new charter school. It's called the George Phillips Academy. It's open to students from kindergarten through 8th grade, and it's free. The school is on Victory Avenue in West Toledo. The Toledo Charter School Council is sponsoring this new school, which plans to offer Spanish to all students. Well, as a parent, I know how tough it is to try to get your kids to do their homework. It can be a real challenge, but there are some things that you can do to help your child and get more involved in their homework. First, create a regular schedule that plans study time and free time. Also, limit your child's TV time. Be available to answer questions. Try doing a problem together and then watch as your child tries the next one. Ask questions. Don't simply give them the answer. Try breaking the problem down. Find out if your child's school has a homework hotline and talk to the teachers. Share any concerns about the amount or difficulty of your child's homework. More children than ever are facing the battle of the bulge.
Some alarming numbers on overweight kids and tips that can help coming up next.
Well, the styles may have changed over the years, but some things are still the same when it comes to back-to-school fashions. It's all about name brands and school uniforms. 13 Action News reporter Kelly Weiss shows us what your kids want and, more importantly, don't want when it comes to classroom clothes.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
I like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Gil and Nemo.
Spider-Man.
If it's popular, it's on a t-shirt.
I like Hello Kitty. I think they're kind of babyish.
So what's out this year?
All the pocket jeans that have all the pockets and are crushy and they make those noises.
It's easy to see what's in.
Skirts and overalls. Bell bottoms. Skirts and pants, I guess.
For boys,
soccer pants.
And more t-shirts featuring
motorcycles. Incredible Hulk.
Sure, you have the uniforms. And of course that Barbie purse. A Hello Kitty umbrella. My sister loves Hello Kitty. She's just a few years older than me.
Callie, your sister's silly.
True, but she would never say
Pooh Bear.
Now, as far as cost for all this back-to-school fashion, how much are we planning on spending?
$24.
That sounds good. Yeah, right. Kelly Weiss, 13 Action News.
Now, one girl we talked to said she thought about $500 would be plenty to cover her back-to-school fashions, and that includes that Powerpuff Girl t-shirt.
Unfortunately, back to school can mean some bad habits for some kids. Research shows that 1 out of every 6 kids is overweight, and that number has more than doubled since the early 1980s. 13 Action News anchor Susan Ross Wells has some tips to help your child battle the bulge.
In less than a year, the first of Stacy Roth's 3 children will be going off to school. Before they do, she and her husband Greg are trying to instill good habits in them, like eating healthy foods and getting plenty of exercise.
They've got their time slots in the morning that, when they're up having their breakfast and so forth, there's, their cartoons that they like to watch, but when the offer's available for them to go outside, that's what they choose.
And making those choices is more important than ever before. Studies show obesity in children is reaching epidemic proportions.
About 1 out of 6 is considered obese at this time.
Dr. Bob Murray is a professor of pediatrics at The Ohio State University College of Medicine and Public Health. He says by the year 2010, the obesity epidemic in this country will cost us more than $260 billion to treat. So he encourages parents to make this school year one in which habits are changed. Dr. Murray says first, encourage your kids to eat lunch in the school cafeteria. Most offer very healthy choices. The problem is that many schools also have snack and vending machines, and that's what kids tend to eat. You can also pack a healthy lunch with fruits and veggies, but don't forget about what they drink. From the time they're born, we tend to give kids sweetened drinks and juices with sugar added.
I think this is a big mistake. We actually train them to prefer the taste of soft drinks to water or milk, and as a result, their nutrition suffers.
As much as half of the food your kids eat during the school year is at school, not at home. So make sure they're eating the right things. And after school, limit their TV time and encourage them to play outside. Experts say if you're overweight at the age of 10, you have an 80% chance of being obese as an adult. So the habits they form now will last a lifetime. Susan Ross Wells, 13 Action News.
And here's another tip. Try taking your kids grocery shopping with you. Make a deal. You'll pick out the fruits and veggies, and they get to pick out their favorite salad dressing.
One important thing to do before your child heads back to school is to make sure that his or her shots are updated. Here are the requirements. All kindergarten students must have 2 doses of measles, mumps, rubella, or MMR. Ohio law requires a second MMR immunization before 7th grade. A 5th dose of the diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis shot is also required. And now all kindergartners must get the hepatitis B vaccine. You can get these immunizations from your doctor.
We've already talked about what your kids will be wearing this year.
But what will they be carrying? We've got the styles and good news for those worried about heavy backpacks. Well, for today's kids, the book bag has gone out of style in favor of the backpack. Now, if one of these babies is on your kids' shopping list, 13 Action News anchor Jeff Smith shows us which ones are the best ones in this Good Housekeeping report.
From its humble roots as a simple tote, the backpack now comes in dozens of styles and offers a wealth of features.
The backpacks have become more organizational friendly. Lots of easy to use sections, pockets.
The Good Housekeeping Institute checked out the latest styles and picked a trio of bags any young pack rat could favor. Today, even kindergartners bounce into school with backpacks, so manufacturers are building bags geared toward different age groups. LL Bean especially designed the $35 Critter Tracks for little bodies and small hands.
It has an easier to open top, and it has a very bright interior so that it's easy for a child to find things.
Its large zippers also make Critter Tracks easier on hands still developing their fine motor skills. Good Housekeeping says this Kelty pack, also $35, is good for the growing child. It has a front organizer pocket with pouch and pen sleeves.
It's very comfortable.
For the older elementary schooler who has to carry a lot of books and school supplies, Good Housekeeping finds the best organizer is REI's Book Rat. At $45, it's the most expensive bag tested, but it has a lot of stowable space. Jeff Smith, 13 Action News.
And here's some good news concerning backpacks and back pain. The University of Michigan recently did a study that tracked students between the ages of 7 and 15. It found that with regular, normal usage, there is no link between backpacks and back pain.
Most kids don't go back to school until next week, but football fans, your season begins tomorrow. Rod Powers and the Powers Pack are back for another award-winning season. And they're ready to give you what you want. Scores, highlights, and fans. The first official Football Friday show airs tomorrow night at 11:15. And remember, you can only see the Powers Pack on 13 Action News.
Well, that's it for the ABCs of Back to School.
We hope that all the information we provided is beneficial as you plan your back-to-school needs. But if you missed anything tonight, we provided you with a special back-to-school preview on our website. That, of course, is 13abc.com.
On behalf of Lee Conklin and the entire 13 Action News team, I'm Diane Larson. Have a safe school year.
And that does it for tonight's episode. All of our episodes are available on demand through 13 Plus on your smart TV or wherever you stream 13 Action News. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.